Hi, my name is Andrew Chan, or Andy I'm commonly known as, and I'm here to educate people on bees and what bees are, and to also to promote my honey product, which is Andy's awesome Apiaries honey. I've been a beekeeper for the last 5 years. I always wanted to be in business, and being a beekeeper is a perfect combination where you can learn to start your own small business, but also chip in and help in the environment, because bees pollinate a lot of plants, and a lot of food is because of bees pollinating them. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for bees. And also right now, like a lot of apple trees, there's some apple trees that's close by, and because of my bees, the apples quadrupled. And that's why I like being a beekeeper. Being a beekeeper has its drawbacks and also advantages as well. Obviously, it's hot, it's sweaty work, but it's rewarding when people buy your honey, and also when people compliment, hey, you're doing good for the environment because your bees are actually pollinating the plants of the world, which is true, because if it wasn't for bees, we would be starving by now. So that's why bees are very important. And also it keeps you, it's like a little society of insects helping humanity. We are in a symbiotic relationship with bees. If it wasn't for human intervention, 98% of bees in Canada would not survive, because they would not survive the cold weather for long periods of time. So when it comes to bees and human participation, what happens is, because when it comes to wintertime, we have to insulate them to keep them warm, and to make sure that they're free from mites and other diseases, because we have to give them Apivar, which is an anti-mite drug. And also we have to give them other different pollen patties with medication to protect them from diphtheria, and also other diseases as well. Because in other European climates, when they eat pollen, also they eat, they can, during the summertime or springtime, they can easily do their cleansing flight and expel all that matter. But if they're in Canada and it's too cold for them to fly, they hold it inside them. So it's not really good for them with all the spores and all that stuff. So that's why we have to give them these medicines as well. And when it comes to the wintertime, a lot of people ask me, hey, do bees hibernate? No, they don't hibernate. They actually stay actually awake, and what they're doing is they're actually vibrating around the queen in a ball to keep her warm and make sure she's safe, because obviously she's the heart of the hive. Everybody knows the queen bee is the most important bee there is in the hive, because obviously she lays eggs and regulates the hive with her pheromones. So when you see a beekeeper, you usually see like a hive tool like this. It's like a crowbar, but we needed to sort of open the honeycomb and the frames, because obviously these frames are actually a modern invention, because in the old days it used to be underneath a basket, and what they'll do is they'll just have to tear it out. And in the old days, I was told they actually had to kill all the bees to harvest all the honey. So we don't want to do that. So with this modern invention, I think it was invented in the 1880s, where they actually put like a box, and then you can have frames. So basically, when you want to harvest honey or when you inspect the bees, you don't have to tear the whole thing apart. You can just put them back as a puzzle, right? But also, yeah, so with a smoker as well, when it comes to using a smoker, you're using a smoker to give the bees warning, hey, I'm coming into your hive. You know, it's like knocking on your door. And also, the smoke will actually block the pheromones when it comes to bees, because bees also communicate by doing a wiggle dance, but also they use release a pheromone where, hey, there's an intruder, or there's a bear that's eating the hive. So they'll release a chemical signal, and then they'll alert the entire beehive, and then all of a sudden you get swarm of bees. So that's why we use a smoker, because smokers help prepare us and protect us and them. Say, hey, we're coming in, we're friendly, and also, hey, blocks their communication so they won't swarm us. So it's for our safety as well. When it comes to harvest time, I use the smoker so I can smoke in and then open up the hive in a safe manner. And then when I put them down and harvest the honey, or inspect the bees, you use your hive tool, this hive tool, to actually open up the frames and then you can inspect them, and then take a look to see, you know, good egg production. Is the queen laying the eggs in a good, efficient pattern, or, you know, how's the health of the hive? And you put them down, and then you can, you know, count for your brood cells, and then you can count the honey. And also, when you saw me lifting up those boxes and showing you those frames of honey, they're all honey. So when it comes to honeybees, obviously, they generally tend to have three types of cells. One for storing honey, one for brood, which is baby bees, and then the third one is actually to store pollen. And also, you always see bees making honeycomb in a hexagon pattern. And the reason why is because there's limited space in a beehive, and with a hexagon, it's most efficient use of wax, and it's the strongest. So basically, you can store anything in the hive, because obviously, if it's in a natural environment, not in a beehive, but actually in a tree or in a shelter somewhere, obviously they have to construct their structures of their hive in a very efficient manner that can store lots of honey and lots of bees. Because when you see footage of honey being harvested in Southeast Asia or in the mountains, basically you have like honeycomb at least, I think, 10 feet, maybe 15 feet wide, and that's huge. I mean, you see them cutting wild honeycomb, and it's just gushing full of honey, and that's why they make it in hexagons, because it's the strongest shape in Mother Nature, and Mother Nature is an efficient judge of survival. I'm a proud serving member of the Canadian Armed Forces. I've been a member of the Royal Canadian Navy for 14 plus years and counting. And I like to also become a beekeeper in ways to serve my community to better the environment, because I get a lot of thank yous from actually serving members and veterans about, oh, that's kind of cool that you're a beekeeper, because, you know, it's a good way to sort of contribute to Canada in the civilian sense, where you're actually improving the environment of Canada, and not just serving in the military or on ships. So with my company, my business of Andy's Awesome Apiaries, I encourage you to educate yourself on the importance of bees and how they impact food production and their contribution to food security, and how having bees in the world and having more Canadians participate in beekeeping or being hobbyists improves the environment and greater citizenship in helping the world. And I hope you buy my honey, and please give me a like and share on Facebook and on Instagram. And look for me on Andy's Awesome Apiaries. Thank you very much.